Hi, hello, and welcome everybody back to another reaction video. So let's react to Choi. I hope I said that right. The giant who terrified MMA. So yeah, without further ado, we gotta hop straight into this video. So let's go right now. Wait a minute. This is not fair. Compared to Brock Lesnar. Oh my God. This is a real picture. His whole foot, okay, is on this man's face. This is not fair. This looks photoshopped. This looks photoshopped. This looks photoshopped, son.
Hongman Choi is a South Korean mixed martial artist standing at 218 centimeters, 7 feet 2, and with a body weight that's been up to 175.5 kilograms, 387 pounds. The Korean monster's unbelievable size meant he was able to overcome opponents vastly more experienced, but this also worked against him as he was fast-tracked to fight some of the greatest MMA fighters of all time.
No.
Choi, with his huge size and some notable victories, was getting noticed all around the world, and even Shaquille O'Neal was interested in fighting him.
Hongman Choi, that's your name? Yeah, I'm coming for you. Don't worry about it. I'm retired next year, 2 years. I'm coming for you.
Age 25, Choi entered the highest level of kickboxing at the K1 World Grand Prix, where he won his debut via TKO 1 minute 40 into the first round.
These matches look like they move in slow motion. It's so funny. Look how like it looks.
He won 9.
It looks so funny.
Fighters such as Oliver McCall, the boxer who had beaten Lennox Lewis and Larry Holmes, and also he defeated Semi Schilt, a 4 times K1 kickboxing world champion. In those 10 fights, he lost just one by a controversial decision to Remy Bonjasky, a 3 times K1 kickboxing world champion himself. Choi was proving he was a massive handful for any fighter on the planet.
It looks like he's moving in slow motion. He's so
Now that Choi was having great success, his confidence was growing as he towered over his opponents. And it wasn't long before an MMA promotion came calling.
This is ridiculous.
His first fight was against Bobby Olagun, who he destroyed in just 16 seconds.
Is this shit a copyright claim? Not dragging across the canvas.
Incredible run of victories since Choi's career began against elite opponents turned out to be a double-edged sword, as Choi and his management's confidence grew so high that they decided to take a fight against undefeated 28-0 Fedor Emelianenko in MMA, a decision they would live to regret.
What? Why you touch that crotch? Oh Lord. Oh, he could just suffocate him and win. I'm not he trying to pick him up?
Despite losing in under 2 minutes, it had been a valiant display from Choi
my God,
against
look at
one
his
of
face.
MMA's all-time great heavyweights. However, this loss severely damaged Choi's confidence, and it became a clear mark of where his career began to go into downfall. Choi was very muscular and had good speed and endurance for a giant. However, his size soon caught up with him and he had serious medical conditions, including a brain tumor removed. Inexplicably, just a few months later, he was put into a fight against another legend of MMA, Mirko Cro Cop. Choi actually did amazingly well, lasting 6.5 minutes in that fight. However, his speed clearly in decline, and eventually a kick would finish him off. A big money fight was then set up for Brock Lesnar, who had just come to MMA from WWE Wrestling, to fight Hongman Choi in the main event. However, sadly, Choi wasn't able to pass the medical. You can see the difference in size between him and the huge Brock Lesnar here, though. In a sad story, but one that we see far too often in the fight game, Hongman Choi continued his career far too long, sometimes having breaks of up to 5 years, but then going back to fighting. He had matches against huge men such as Akebono and Bob Sapp, who themselves usually dwarf their opponents, but look small next to the real-life giant Hongman Choi.
He looks easy to take down. Just looking at this video.
Towards the end of his career, Choi went in against opponents such as Toyota. Choi weighed 40 kilograms less than in his peak and sadly suffered some brutal knockouts.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He would keep on fighting, and because of his huge size, would still be able to defeat some opponents and carried on getting some victories. However, in amongst them was some very heavy losses. Sadly, Hongman Choi just wasn't the man he used to be. However, in his prime, Hongman Choi had been probably the most accomplished giant we've ever seen in mixed martial arts, beating some elite level opponents and causing everybody he fought against huge problems. He will forever be in the memories of anybody that saw him fight at his prime. Let me know in the comments, did you ever see him fight? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with another video very soon.
You know, him having a height advantage and him having long limbs or whatever doesn't mean that he's always going to be the doesn't mean he's always going to come out on top in his fights. Now, if you put him up against someone who is well trained, you know what I'm saying, and they know how to work around his height and know how to work around him having long limbs, like say for example Mike Tyson, who is very, you know, who is trained and who knows how to like size up and analyze his opponents, he will be very, very, very easy to take down. Just like that one guy, the last guy who you know, who swung up and like knocked him out or whatever. Just by looking at this video, and this is not no shade or anything to him, but looking at this video, his movements are very, 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 very slow. He just has that advantage of him having height and, you know, having longer limbs. Because like going back to Mike Tyson, he's faced like, you know, guys who are taller than him or, you know, have a longer reach than him or whatever, but he was still able to analyze them and break them down. You know what I'm saying? Like height doesn't matter. So, you know, he what's his name again? Hongman Choi. He still was able to, you know, get some wins out of a lot of different fighters. But I feel like those fighters weren't like trained well enough to be able to like size up an opponent and attack you know, weaknesses and stuff like that, because he's very easy to like, just by looking at this video, he's very easy to you know, analyze or whatever. And we've seen some people like chop him down. So yeah, that's really, really crazy. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Leave some comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Toodles.